Hello, this is lovely lighting for the start of a weekly vlog, isn't it? Welcome to a new weekly vlog. It's Monday. You can see what I'm wearing, my gym jams. I've had a terrible day. Pains, tiredness, I just want to sleep. I'm not going to complain about it anymore, but just the explanation for what I look like. There's Dobby, Nurse Dobby. Hello, Nurse Dobby. I'm playing some God of War. All I have to do to finish 100% completion is defeat the Queen Valkyrie, which is a nightmare. And there's one thing that says undiscovered. I can't flipping work out what it is. And then I've got 100% completion. I've finished the whole game, but I'm going back and doing all the little bits. And then I am either going to play The Witcher 3, which I got ages ago, which everyone says is such a good game, or Assassin's Creed. I may do The Witcher just purely because I have it, and I know so many people love it. I started it before and it never really gelled with me, but I haven't played very much. Like when I first played God of War, I probably played about a sixth of it. And I was like, it's alright, but how it won Game of the Year, I will never know. I went back and it is amazing when you properly get into it and give it the time it deserves. So I'm almost finished that, and then I'll move on to The Witcher 3. So that's what's happening today, folks. Got him just a thumbs up. Isaac had a Gaelic blitz on. A blitz basically means matches where loads of clubs all play one another. Supposed to have one on Sunday, but it was such bad weather they've rescheduled it for our Thursday night. But we're meant to have rain the whole week, so that'll be fun. Isaac has his thing called Cool Camp this week. Not C-O-O-L, C-U-Fada-L. A fada is an accent, an Irish accent, similar to a grave in France, like the little line. So Cool Camp, which is basically Gaelic and hurling camp and loads of physical activity. He has that all week from 10 till 2. And today it started raining when Darren collected him. Literally, when he got in the car, the rain started. I cannot believe they got away with it all day with no rain, because it's been forecast to rain all week, all day. So yeah, it's sunny at the minute, but raining, sunny, raining, sunny. And there's a weather alert for thunderstorms. So yes, that's what's happening this week, folks. A bit under the weather, but it's to be expected when the weather's like this. So yeah, I'll check in with you guys tomorrow and let you know how things are then. Hello. It is Wednesday. I have only recorded once this week, I think for 2 minutes on Monday, to say how bad the weather is and how sore and crap I felt. The weather's still exactly the same. I still feel sore. Isaac's Cool Camp actually had to be ended 2 hours early today. Why they even started it is beyond me. The rain was so bad that little kids were just soaked. Isaac came back and he actually was wet through to his skin, to his underwear. But I can't believe now as I'm talking about how bad the weather is, the sun has come out.
It's warm.
It's 15 degrees, so it's about average for here. It feels quite warm. It's that like muggy, humid, horrible weather. Isaac's got his last guitar lesson of the summer. That's the summer term over now. I think they don't have any lessons at all next week. I'm just calling into my mum's, who is deaf, because she had a shower and she did that thing that you really shouldn't do of sticking cotton buds in your ears because she felt she'd water in her ears after the shower. She's obviously shoved everything that's been in her ears right down and now she can't hear. So I've had to come in with the syringe type thing, to try and like wash her ears out. I don't know if it'll work. Not fully deaf, Isaac, but she's struggling to hear. So between her and my dad, neither of them can hear bugger all. My dad's got really bad hearing, but he's one of these that would refuse to go in. You know the way you can get hearing aids now that are tiny little things that go in your ear? He won't even go for the hearing test. He can't hear. He won't go to the doctor to see if he needs some syringing. So I'll just leave him in his deafness because he won't listen to me.
I can't listen to you.
Yeah, well, it's shocking. It can't hear anything. And so now my mum's temporarily the same, so that'll be good cry. So nothing happening apart from that, and intermittent terrible weather punctuated by little tiny bits of dry weather. And then when you're fooled into thinking, right, that's it, it's dry, get the dogs out, then it comes down. So yeah, that's what's happening So nothing much. Oh, Isaac went to Reuben's yesterday. It wasn't planned. His mum, when collecting him from Cool Camp, said, "Is Isaac going to come up for a couple of hours?" So I think I saw Isaac yesterday for the grand total of about half an hour for the entire day. So he was away first thing in the morning, and then when he got back, he got changed and went straight back out again with Reuben. And then they had their mad half hour when he was dropped back last night, jumping up and down on the trampoline. So yeah, nothing of great excitement for us though. Same old, same old. So with that wonderfully exciting update, I shall check in with you guys later. Right folks, it is Thursday. I'm just going to collect Isaac from his Cool Camp. This is the GAA club. Just trying to work out where to park. I think we have to park up the side. Up here. Because typically it is raining again. Have they got them? Well, they have a ton of them down there doing work in the rain. Which is ridiculous. They're there somewhere. Or maybe down there. Can't see him. He's got black shorts. Oh no, he's maybe not down there. This is another pitch. Listen to that wind. Do we see him? No. That could be him over there. I think that's him over there. I think that's him right in front of that. Stick held up. So hello folks. There's other people in cars that are probably looking at me. Look at state of my face. I've no makeup on. The electrician turned up at the house to fix an outside light we have that's fused and keeps filling up with water. They're supposed to call to say they're coming to make sure there's someone in, but they didn't. They just turned up. So Darren couldn't come up to collect Isaac today, so I've dragged myself out of my bed. I know it's the afternoon. I was just getting up anyway, but I'm just, this last couple of weeks, I'm just so tired and so sore every day. I'm in fucking agony, I can't tell you. Your comment got a heart from Screen Stars. I've just had a notification on my phone. So I'm here looking and feeling like crap to collect Isaac, and it's pissing it down, and they're all out playing in the pouring rain. Yesterday or the day before, it had to be called off because it was so wet. So it's only got one day left tomorrow, and that's it over for a week. Or over for ever. It's like, well, until next year. So I'll try and film him coming out, so you can see how cold and pathetic he looks. All the parents are turning up now. It is 10 to 2. We're meant to go pick them up at 2, but I thought with the rain they might finish a bit early. So yeah, that's what's happening today, folks. I shall check in with you guys later if there's anything worth telling you. Did I tell you about my mum's ears yesterday? I syringed my mum's ears because when she had a shower, she did that thing where she stuck a Q-tip in, and I'd been telling her to put eardrops in until I got into, I've got this like ear syringe. Basically it just scoots water in your ear. It's not like high powered or anything, it's just like it is especially for ears. And when I did it, the second time I did it, oh my god, the stuff, it was like sludge. Like, I've never seen anything like it. Loads. It was awful. But she's delighted because she can hear. She's really, really pleased. Let's see if a few seconds of a song can get me copyrighted. Oh, someone's pulling up next to me now. Don't you dare hit my car. Fucking hell, that's close. Ooh. Right, how's Isaac meant to get in that door? Right, that's the little ones.
Hurls, gloves, gum shield, water. Okay, we're just doing blitzes all of tomorrow. Alright? And then also we have some lost and found here. So does anybody own this pink coat? Anybody know that owns that?
Yeah, there's Isaac now. Coming out. I knew he was down there.
You're putting that in back?
I can't.
Why?
And then, hold on. Let me get in with it.
Just
and
be,
then I can-
don't open the door any further, will you?
I know.
There, that's in back.
I drank both bowls of water.
Yeah.
I
Get
was
door
so
shut.
really thirsty.
So it's good then.
Yeah. I'm really thirsty.
It's good Ruby was here. I'm filming, by the way.
I know.
Are you happy about that?
No.
They remember thinking that they felt like they were being watched, and it went on for a few moments, and their compass didn't waver. It was aimed in the direction of the smell, and they're both on opposite sides, pointing in the same direction. And then at some point, the smell stops, and they stop feeling anxious, and the north arrows go back to
Thursday
where they should have
evening.
been. And then one of the most
Thursday tea
terrifying
time,
of all
watching
of
some
the
Mr.
paranormal
Bowling
occurrences that happened
before
at
Gaelic.
Skinwalker Ranch happened at the very end of
Skinwalker Ranch.
1997.
Is it scary, Isaac?
No.
Are you frightened?
I'm nearly asleep.
I know you're nearly asleep, I saw you. Look at them dogs. I need a photograph. Right, I'll be able to take a screenshot of that. Look at the next year. Hi guys, it is Friday. Last day of Isaac's cold camp. Darren has just gone to collect him. He had a time of it last night. They went to a blitz, like matches, in a nearby village. And Darren almost got into it with one of the other coaches. Don't miss tonight's estimated 93 million euro. No, I never win anything. This referee guy was a disgrace. He was refereeing a match between these kids are like 10 years old, and his team were like kicking and punching and shoving, just basically doing stuff they shouldn't. And in the end, and he was letting them do it because it was his team. And there was one of the little lads on our team called Oren, and he's tiny, and he was in tears. And in the end, the lads on our side just got hacked off, like, royally, and they started reciprocating. And when they started reciprocating, the referee's like, blowing the whistle, "You lot are a disgrace. I'm not having this." And he was getting really wound up, red in the face. "I'm not effing having this. You lot are an effing disgrace." And Darren politely said to him, "No, they're reciprocating for what you've allowed your lads to do to them." He was basically told to mind his own business and sort your team out, sort your lads out, sort them out. And Darren says, "No," says, "you're refereeing this match. You sort all of them out. You let it start. Mine continued it." He says, I'm not saying they're not in the wrong, but they're only doing what's been done to them for the first half hour. So keeps going on. And they have a goalie. He's a lad that's a bit soft. He wouldn't hurt a fly, basically. He's a big lad, but he's very gentle. Some of the kids that are on the team may have a mild autism or a mild condition of some description. Maybe a learning difficulty, something. It's not massive, but a little. And they would be very innocent-minded. And this lad on our team was in goals. And one of the other team went up and punched him twice in the back, which turned into a scuffle. Not the lad that was in goals. He wouldn't, even if he was hit, he would just crawl up in the ball. That's what he's like. So the referee goes over and starts yelling at this lad in the goal. Now, you very strictly speaking are not allowed to go onto the pitch during a match, but Darren saw red and he was straight over there in the middle of the match, stopped the match. He says, "Oi, I'm not having that." He says, "You're not going to stand there and single out a child and yell at them. You're an adult. Catch yourself on." And he said to him, he wouldn't hurt a fly. He says, "That's my Harry." His name's Harry. "Your lad punched him twice in the back. And you're on here pointing and shouting at him. You're a disgrace. Your team are a disgrace." And it gave Darren a bit of what for. And the lad that had punched our lad in the back started crying. Darren wasn't even talking to him. And his coach, who was the referee, turned around and said to him, "Oh, stop your effing crying. F or take you off the effing pitch." This is how he's speaking to his own kids. And anyway, Darren bit his tongue and the match went on and it finished. And at the end of the thing, Darren made all the kids line up and shake hands, which they didn't want to do, but he made them. And then he went over to shake the hand of the referee guy and say, you know, that was a difficult match. He turned round, pulled his hand back and goes, I'm not shaking hands with you, and looked at him like he was a piece of crap. Darren says, you what? I'm not shaking hands with you. The lot of you were an effing disgrace. Meanwhile, one of the big bosses from the place we're at the Blitz having, who this guy is from that area, right, you two, he says, this is not the time or the place, sort it. And Darren says, oh no, I'm leaving. And Darren walked away after telling him. He says, I never in all my time, and he says, and I'm getting on a bit, and I've coached football for years, never in all my time have I encountered such a juvenile, childish behaviour from a grown adult. Something about unsportsmanlike or whatever, and he walked away. Well, I know Darren, and I know when he raises his voice is loud, so that's why that guy probably came over. And at the end, when everything was tied up, and Darren, the two that were there with Darren from our club, two of the coaches, who, the reason the kids get so unruly is because they won't discipline them. Darren wants to, but they won't. And they stood, and not one of them came over to stand up for Darren. None of them. And the man that would usually be with Darren, he couldn't come because of work. And he would have stepped in because he's a nice lad, but he's not one of the main coaches. He's not the top coach. The top coaches just stood there and did naff all. Darren actually had loads of parents from our kids come and say, thank you so much for doing that. They're known for being dirty. They're known for this kind of behaviour, and they need it telling. Thank you so much for doing that. And Darren went round and shook all their hands at the end, and little Oren, who was in tears, he gave a hug. He calls Oren his Hulk, because Oren turned the tears into rage, and he was running with the ball, like really, really, like, you know, and he says, I'm proud of you. That was awesome. I've never seen anything like it. And he gave him a big hug. But honestly, I mean, nobody backed him up. Nobody is going to complain about this guy. But at the end of the night, Darren went over to the guy that had come over and says, right, you two, this is not the time and the place. Stop it. And he went over to him. Turns out he's the top coach in that team. And he says, apologised about raising his voice and his behaviour. He says, but I want to tell you why. And he went on to tell the guy what had happened. And he was speechless. He says, he refused to shake your hand. And Darren says, yep. He said, not in all my time as a coach in any place have I ever encountered behaviour like that. And the guy had actually, as well, stormed off the pitch, got into his car and drove off and left all the kids standing. I mean, I've never known anything like it. But the guy says, oh, I can only apologise, that's not on. And he'd said that he singled out one of my players on the pitch that had just been punched in the back by one of his players. And he was yelling at him and berating him in the pitch in front of everyone. He said, you know, it was a tough game. The kids were out of line on both sides. Mine reciprocated when they got it and it wasn't stopped. And he said, but I'm not going to stand there and watch a grown man yell into the face of a kid for something that wasn't his fault. And the guy says, oh, no, that's not on. That shouldn't be happening. So probably as usual, nothing will happen. But personally, my viewpoint would be, if that guy shouldn't ever be allowed to come into our club at all, unless he comes forward and says, I'm completely out of line, I apologise, which is the type of guy that he won't do. So anyway, that's what happened last night. Darren came back spitting feathers. He wasn't best pleased. I think the thing that I'm the most angry about is the fact that the coaches that were with him didn't just stood there and done nothing, and when they found out what happened, weren't disgusted or anything. They were just like, well, they're known for it, that's just how they are. It's like, well, that's how you allow them to be. Sort the thing out, you know what I mean? But anyway, last night there was a guy in England. Where was it? Oh, my phone's there, I can't even look it up. Check something. They've taken his YouTube down. I think it was called, was it Professor Waffle? This guy obviously has some issues going on. He'd done all these YouTube rants about his life was still the same, life was defeating him and beating him down, and there's been some sort of domestic incident, and he shot a woman that he knew, I would imagine probably a partner or something. And not content with that, he went out onto the street and he shot a child, and I think she was a very young child. I think she wasn't much more than a toddler. Shot a little girl, shot the man that was with her, shot a couple of people in the street that didn't die. They're the only ones that didn't die. I think he killed 5 people. Then went to a park and shot a man, dead. Eventually he killed himself, which is the only small mercy there. some witness said it was a pump action shotgun that he had or similar. He was a licensed gun holder. He was 22, and I've seen one of his videos. He very clearly had issues. But all these people, he's just went out and shot a lot of people, and it's like one of the worst shootings here in the UK. It's awful. It's horrible. It just leaves you I just speechless when I read about it this morning. I'd heard a little bit about it last night, but when I read the full story today, it was just horrendous. But the one thing that I'm reading about that I didn't know that existed, and I've now forgotten the word, and it's on my phone, so I can't look it up. I can't remember. I'll try and input it when I'm editing this. It's a movement of men across the world that blame women for their, and this I'm quoting, involuntary celibacy. So basically, because women won't sleep with these guys, it's the woman's fault that they are sexually frustrated and beaten down by life, and these guys go out and commit heinous, violent acts against other people. And that's all because of these women that won't sleep with them. And apparently it's a whole movement, and I have no words. I have no words. Also, there was someone on my friends list on Facebook. I'll put it up if I can find the post. I deleted them immediately. It wasn't someone I knew well. It was someone from the horror community from America that I, to be honest, don't know well at all. It's why I don't have my surname on anything anymore online. So there's people, that I know from YouTube that don't know me well in real life. So I don't want to be giving away all my details and stuff. But it was a picture of some person's arm in the concentration camps with their tattooed identification number, and the bottom picture was a picture of someone with a bracelet on saying that they'd been vaccinated. I'm assuming in America there's this bracelet, a tag bracelet you can get that enables you to get into events. It was taken at a baseball match or something, and it was woke yet, the mistakes of the past are going to be repeated. They were comparing people in concentration camps in the war that were tattooed to having to be vaccinated. They're comparing the two. And I'm like, what the fuck is wrong with you people? What? Honestly, I was so cross. I had to reshare. I had to look at this. Please tell me this is unreasonable and I'm not just becoming a grumpy old woman. Because this picture had about 5 comments under it, and every one of those comments agreed with the picture. And I'm like, what sweet hell is this? What is going on? I know some people have different opinions on mask wearing and all that stuff, and that's fine. If you respect the rules, if you do your best to care about not infecting other people and all that stuff, that's great. And people can have different opinions. There was a man on This Morning this week, the TV show, that he was very highly educated. He went to Cambridge University, and he refused to have the vaccine because he said it hadn't undergone rigorous enough testing. His wife didn't have it. I'll not go into the full story, but it culminated in the fact this guy died, and he was a healthy man, and his wife almost died because they got COVID, and his family are now on telly trying to spread the message for people to have the vaccine because they have since educated themselves more on people think this vaccine's just been developed in out of the blue in months, but they've been working on these strains of vaccines for 10 years. So, it's just manipulation of something that they had been working with anyway. But, misinformation, people won't listen to scientists, but they will listen to Joe Blogs on Facebook that thinks he knows something, and it's just ridiculous. But when I saw that, I was just really cross. I'm like, please, I just wanted validation from someone to say, no, that's just wrong, that's just stupid. Because I've got to the point of thinking, am I becoming a grumpy old woman? And thankfully, every single person that's commented on it has all said that's just downright offensive, which I thought it was. So anyway, these guys will be back soon, and I need a wee. So I'm going to go and have the aforementioned wee before they get back, and Isaac does another past paper, which he will be delighted to be doing. I've had to buy another set, the 2021 ones that have been slightly amended for the 11 plus this year, given that the kids have missed about a year of school. They've made some slight changes to the exam. So he did the first one of these new ones a couple of, was it yesterday? No, 2 days ago, and he got 92, which is incredible. So he's got another one of those to do today, and yeah, that'll be it probably for the day. I just wanted to update you on the Gaelic thing and on that horrible thing that's going on over in England at the minute. It's doesn't bear thinking about. Anyway, I shall catch up with you guys later in the week. Hello, it's Saturday. I've got deja vu. I've just done this for my review of the film we're about to go to see, which is Free Guy with Ryan Reynolds. What's going on there? Is there a wedding? Lots of people in the chapel, and I'm nosy.
People showing face.
I love to see weddings and dresses and stuff like that. What's that? Something in the road. Yeah. It's a cup. So yeah, I had heard that this movie was really bad from a few people that had reviewed it. To be honest, I didn't watch the entire reviews. I think I'd read a review from someone saying this is awful. So when someone says this is absolutely terrible, generally I'll probably wait until it comes onto streaming. I won't pay the money to go see it. But unless it's something I'm desperate to see myself, like when everyone was saying Spiral was terrible, well, I'm not going to be content with that because I love Saw. I know a lot of people don't, but I will watch anything of that nature. And I really enjoyed it. And what was the other one that everyone was? Old. Everyone was saying Old was terrible, and it's my third favourite Shyamalan film. I really liked it. There's the petrol beacon telling me that we need petrol. Yeah, so, and I checked IMDb and it's a 7.5, I think, this Free Guy. So that kind of like doesn't say that it's terrible. Someone else reviewed it, who was it? Because I didn't want to watch it because someone said, I was watching a stream last night, what they called, the Cinema Squad. I was up to after 4 AM watching it actually. And I'm going to be on it next Friday. So if you're watching this, hang on, yeah, this should be up before then. I'm going to be on the stream, but first live stream in over 2 years. And it's a really nice bunch of guys, all movie fans, and I'm going to be on their stream. I will advertise it on my main channel. I'm looking forward to that. That should be fun. Somebody had said on that stream, when mentioning Free Guy, don't look at anything, don't read anything, don't watch the trailer, just go and watch it because there's some surprises in it that are awesome. So I know nothing. The only thing I know is Ryan Reynolds is it called NPC? NPC.
Yeah, NPC.
Is like a computer character basically. That's the only thing I know about it. So well, don't tell me anything. I know nothing at the minute. So yeah, we'll go see what it's like because it's that thing. Movies are so divisive. Some people like Suicide Squad, the new one. I didn't like it at all. Darren didn't dislike it as much as I did, but he was really disappointed by it. He said he wouldn't watch it again, and he was really looking forward to it, but it wasn't funny. It just, to me, the jokes did not land at all. There was nothing remotely funny about it.
You mean like them all tiptoeing across a road,
yeah,
comic style, like, what am I, aged 5?
There is a weasel in it, and there is a rat in it, and they are awesome. I love those both in it, but other than that, no. But it shows you like what people like is so completely different. Most people are loving Suicide Squad, and I didn't like it, and most people are hating Old, and I loved it. So maybe it's me. Maybe there's something wrong with my taste in movies.
Allegedly, you like me, so I mean that says it all really, doesn't it? About what films you watch.
So yeah. Right, so I will check in afterwards and let you know what I thought. I am doing a proper review for it for the channel because I try to most of the time, not all of the time, but most of the time when I go to the cinema to see something, I try and do a come with me. Well, this will be a come with us today because I'm not on my own. It's just if you've got someone else's kid with you, you don't really want to be filming them and putting it up on the internet, so that's why generally I don't do a come with us if it's something we're bringing Isaac and a couple of friends too. So yeah, I shall let you know and get Isaac and Darren to tell you their viewpoints when we come out of Free Guy. I shall check in later. What are you going to see?
I forgot what it's called.
Free Guy. You looking forward to it?
Yeah.
Oh Jesus, I've no mask on.
Have you got your mask on?
No.
I was smiling there with the mask on.
Right, we've just come out of the cinema after having watched Free Guy. I've done a review which will be up on the channel before this. Well, now everybody and their aunt is deciding to drive out of the car park, so I can't get out. Come on. That was really good. I'll not say you get a lot more details on my review because I deliberately didn't give very many details because that's how we went in and that's how I would recommend you go in. Go in knowing nothing. If you like films that are a lot of fun, not to be taken too, so you can wait, mate, while I get turned here. Oh, the deprivation of having to wait 2 minutes, eh? Yeah, go check it out. If people say it's crap, don't listen to them. It's a lot of fun. A lot of good humour in there. A few little surprise appearances. So yeah, I would recommend. We would all recommend. We all enjoyed it. Me and Darren both give it about 7.5 out of 10. Isaac gave it a 9 out of 10. But it will appeal more to people that game because there are a lot of gaming references in there. So now I am heading...
Well, it's a kids' film with a bit of cheek for the adults that they don't understand.
It is. It's probably aimed at kids of about, I would say from about 10 to 15 is probably the target audience. It's a 12A. A little bit of cheek, a little bit of bad language.
Bit of blue for dads.
But I wouldn't say there was a bit of blue in it. Just crude humour, Isaac. So now I am going to Lidl to get to get myself some Polish ham and smoked cheese because they seem to go down really fast in our house until I discovered why they were going down really fast in our house. Darren was feeding them to the dogs. My smoked ham.
They liked it.
Well, it's my smoked ham, my
They
special
liked
ham.
it.
Well, I don't care.
And they give me that look every time I took them out. While they came back in and stood by the fridge looking at me, going, "Oh."
So Darren fed them my smoked ham.
Who gave them the smoked cheese?
I gave them a piece of cheese. Yes, didn't give them. So yeah, I'm going to get that now. We need to get wet dog food. So
Yeah, milk.
Lidl probably milk already.
Yeah.
You must go through so much milk. Oh, you've been having loads of milkshakes, haven't you?
Yeah.
That's why. So yeah, Lidl, stop off to get a couple of bits and then back home. But yeah, go see Free Guy. It's well worth a watch. I'll switch you off because there's nothing much else to tell you at the minute. Well, probably, because if we need milk and dog food, I can't carry all that on my own. Pick. Oh, they look quite tasty. Jumbo strawberries, Swiss roll. Bet that's really nice. Look how I walked away from that. I want to go back though. Tell Isaac, check out.
That's the gym.
Sunday. No, it's not. Saturday evening. We're having black cones. I can't get it out of the thing to show you.
Just fill at the bottom.
Well, I've only got one hand, so I can't. Sorry about the terrible lighting, but chocolate cone. Isaac, can you ever eat anything that you don't put around your face? Hello. Well, this has been a while, hasn't it? The bathroom chat. It's Sunday evening. I'm signing off the vlog for the week with a new update. I'm thoroughly hacked off, so I apologise for the moaning I'm about to do on my toilet. Last night, Isaac was playing with the two kids from next door, and they were outside, and a friend of our next door neighbour called to collect something. She had her daughters with her. Now, I only find this bit out today, one of which was wearing a mask. Our neighbour says, "Oh, don't be silly, you don't have to wear a mask." Aforementioned child removes mask, and the kids proceed to play together in the garden while the two adults are talking. I got a text at half past midnight last night, so this morning, "Oh, she's tested positive for COVID." I'm like, "What?" Oh, well, yeah, their mum dropped down yesterday and she was playing with Isaac in the garden and she found out she's got COVID. Now, where do I start with this? Point one, for her to have found out last night, a matter of 2 or 3 hours after she was down visiting her neighbour, and for the girl to have been wearing a mask when she came down, she had to have known she had symptoms and she would have to have been waiting on the results of the test because a PCR test takes 24 to 48 hours to come back. So she will have known that she had COVID symptoms, she will have known she had had a COVID test, and she was wearing a mask. The only other way around that is maybe it was a lateral flow test that she took late on Sunday evening. But still, she came out of the house with a mask on and full symptoms to visit her neighbour and her kids, and Isaac was in the garden. So this next week, coming up Monday to Friday, Isaac had a full activity week booked with like a local place that's called Activity Northern Ireland. They do like archery and slime making and Nerf shooting, and it's a full week of activities, and it was really difficult to get a place on it, and I got him in and he's been looking forward to it so much. So I've had to cancel this whole week that he's supposed to be doing and pull him off it. Loads of stuff happening. I have a dental appointment, the car was being serviced, it's 6 months late being serviced, just tons of things this week. But Isaac has been in close contact with an individual that has tested positive. The mother of the kid that tested positive has still not contacted me to either A, apologise, B, say this is what's happening. The neighbour told me via text. If I'd done that, I really apologise. I've been in my pyjamas all day, I'm going to bed. I'd be mortified if I was responsible for that. But it wouldn't happen because I wouldn't have left the house with Isaac and gone to someone else's house if that was the case. So now we're all in self-isolation for 10 days. Strictly speaking, me and Darren are both vaccinated, and the rule from tomorrow, the 16th, is we don't need to isolate. And I'm just confused because Isaac does, but we don't. And my brain's thinking, but how, when we all live in the same house? I know he's the only one that had the direct contact, but if he's got it, then we're direct contacts to him. So it just wasn't making sense. And I'm like, can anyone explain this to me? And I put a post on Facebook. And one of my contacts did an angry face and said, see my page as to why I'm angry at this. And proceeded to have a complete go about people that want to go out and about because they're vaccinated even though they've had blah. And that wasn't what I was saying. I was saying, can someone explain this to me? Because I really don't understand the rules because they're different in England and Northern Ireland, and I just didn't know. Darren wants to be able to walk the dogs just outside on his own around the block, doesn't come into contact with anyone, but we don't want to be breaking the law. So I'm trying to like work out, can he walk the dog? And he can. But point one, I'm pissed off because that stupid cow brought her kids to someone else's house knowing she possibly had COVID. I'm annoyed that the neighbour said, don't be silly, you can take your mask off. If she wants to put her kids at risk, that's fine, but don't do that when someone else's child's there. She still hasn't told me that. Isaac told me she said that. I'm annoyed that the mother of the child has not contacted me to tell me or to apologise for the situation. And I'm annoyed at this person on Facebook for pretty much assuming that I'm just looking at an excuse to go out. Now, my dad's really ill again at the minute. I can't go into my parents', obviously. I can't risk it. It could be we're all fine. We could all be absolutely fine, but we might not be. So that full, Isaac then has half a week of summer holidays left before he's back at school. Then this is the second to last week. He's going to miss everything. We can't go out of the house now until Wednesday week. So not Wednesday coming, but the one after. That's us stuck in. And nobody thinks that they should apologise. You may think, well, they didn't know. They brought the kid out of the house into someone else's wearing a mask when they'd taken a COVID test. So to me, if you're taking a COVID test, you think you might have COVID, and you should not be leaving the house until you have those results. So I've ordered PCR tests for all of us. I actually took a lateral flow test last week. They're the ones that give you the result if you don't have symptoms. And I like to do one of us to do one every week or so to see if we're all okay. Because my viewpoint is, if one of us have it, all of us will have it. It's usually how it works. But it was negative, but I've ordered PCR tests because when someone in the family has a direct contact that's positive, then you need to do the proper PCR test. But we have to do that on day 2 and day 8. We're not going to be out and about because by the time you get the results for day 8, it's going to be 10 days, 24 to 48 hours. So basically we're all self-isolating for 10 days. And I'm really annoyed. I don't know, you know, am I being unreal? But Darren's more angry than I am. So yeah, that's what happened today. So Wednesday the 20-something, we can go back out again. This Monday's the 16th, the following Monday's the 23rd, 25th of August is the next day we can go out. This is Sunday night, this is the 15th. So not best pleased, to say the least. Please tell me it's not just me. Would you guys be irked by that? I mean, oh. So Isaac misses out in this. And this woman, this mother, her kids were booked into the same, she's got 3 kids. They were booked into the same activity week and she's pulled them out. They haven't given a reason for that on the actual thing that she pulled them out of. But she knows that Isaac now can't go to that thing for the same reason, and I would have thought the polite thing to do would be to contact the parent and say, look, I'm really sorry about that. You know, I'm sure Isaac's really gutted, but he's missing this activity week. I'm really sorry, I shouldn't have brought her down. You know, it was a silly thing to do. But she hasn't even contacted me to say that her kid has tested positive. She's left that to the neighbour to do. And I'm seething. I need to stop thinking about it, but I've given myself headache. And the reason I've given myself headache is because I'm angry and I can't outlet it. Because someone online, someone you don't know, someone that you're not bothered about, you can just say, what the hell did you think you were doing? But you can't when you live next door to the people and you have to deal with them. You can't do that. Stressed. So yeah, I'm going to go to bed. The irony of it is I've got a really sore throat, but that started yesterday and the contact only started last night. So I know it's not from, but yeah, that's where we're at. So hopefully in next week's vlog you'll find out if we got COVID or not. I texted the little boy's mum, Oscar, that lives at the end of the road, and I said, look, you know, tell Oscar not to call for Isaac because I told her what happened. I don't want him getting it. And his mum has a wedding business locally, so she, you know, she works in business, she's got staff. And she said it's as bad now here as it's ever been. It's going mad. And with people with the attitude of coming out of the house when they think they have it, I'm not surprised. And there's a lot of confusion around what you can and can't do. People that are double vaccinated think they can just do what they want when they want, and they can't. So everybody's catching it. God knows what's going to happen when the kids go back to school. That 11 plus could be cancelled, so that could screw us right over. But she says that in our little area, she said both of her neighbours have it, and one of the households, even though they're all double vaccinated, they're all laid up really ill with it. They're not well at all. So I'm a bit concerned, shall we say. Darren had pneumonia before, and we've both had COVID twice, and it's hit him really hard, both times, really, really hard. The first time especially, it's hit me hard, not in like laying me flat on my back for a week like Darren was, but mine like tends to be longer, so I feel like I've got just like a bad virus, but that feeling is for like at least 2 to 3 weeks, and then I take maybe 2 or 3 months of not feeling right. So if we've got it for a 3rd time, I think Darren will go up. So Darren up, he'll go livid. He'll be so cross. So yeah, sorry we're not ending this week more positively, but that's what's happening. So yeah, thanks for watching, guys. Hopefully I'll be back with you next week with more positive vlog, more positive news. Although it's a week of it sitting in the house, so what the hell I'm going to vlog to you guys about, who knows? But yeah, thanks for watching, guys. Over and out from Kit and Caboodle.